We are now entering year 3 of the Michigan State Spartans rebuild, where we're taking them down to the dumps of the Big Ten and bring them back to the top and a national championship eventually. In the last video, we did season 2 of recruiting, and we went 3-9 for the second straight year. We lost a lot of really close games, but definitely had some brutal games too. This year, we definitely need to improve with the record. We ended with, I believe, the 25th best class, so definitely a downgrade from the previous season, but I still think we got a really, really good class, and I want to show you where we're at. After some off-season training, this team is starting to be heavily transformed. Randy Talcott. Now, I don't think this was one of my players. He's a redshirt sophomore, so I think he was already here, but this dude is now a 91 overall. Eckley is back for his senior year and is an 88 overall punter. Nick Marsh, as a junior, is up to an 87 overall. And as you can see, there's a bunch of guys in here that are in the mid-80s, and we didn't have almost any of that ahead of time. This year will be very, very interesting for quarterbacks. BJ Hepburn, after the offseason training, is now tied for our new freshman, Dennis Lasko. I think I'm going to start Hepburn for now, but we're going to have to monitor how he does. We might want to put in Lasko eventually because we want to use Lasko probably long term. At running back, we don't have anybody super top right now, but we're going to have a lot of options. Mekhi Frazier was one of our transfers that we got. Jamerson Simons was our first year main running back along with Teddy Rabb. Receiver is starting to look a little bit better too. Nick Marsh, really the main thing. Isaiah Johnson has insane stats with 98 speed, 99 excel, 92 agility, 92 change of direction. This is an agile receiver. We definitely need a little bit more depth, but if you look at this guy, Ronald Opara, he was our 4-star gem receiver from last year. He has 99 speed and also very agile. He's going to be huge for us in the future. We're going to be super stacked at tight end very soon, too. I believe Thomas Ventura was in our first recruiting class. He's up to an 83 overall. We've got a lot of mid-70s as well. George Thornton was our 4-star gem tight end from this past recruiting class, too. So I'd imagine he takes a big jump next year. Offensive line is starting to look really, really good. We might have to make some cuts. I'm not entirely sure. 91 with Randy Talcott. 83 for Craig Dennison at the left guard, and the 82 center from Cole Dellinger, and the 82 right guard Ray Brewer, and the 85 Stanton Ramil. So everything is buffed up, and our overall is much better now, too. Defensive line is looking better, too. Jalen Thompson entering his senior year up to an 82 overall. 82 for J.V. Waters. I believe he was already on the team. Charles Matthews was from our first recruiting class, so he's looking pretty good. Our defensive tackles are going to be absolutely insane. I got to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this. Evan Kuberski was our 5-star, and he's 5th on the depth chart for defensive tackles. We might need some people to transfer out. We probably have too many, but we are so stacked at defensive tackle. Linebackers still probably need a little bit of work. We're at a 78 for Steven Everett. We have an 86 middle linebacker in D. Avery Poe, and Brady Pretzloff is at an 81 overall. We don't have much depth in right outside linebacker, or just any outside linebacker, so that's going to be a massive thing that we look for in this upcoming recruiting class. Cornerbacks got huge upgrades too. A lot of them are sophomores or seniors. There's no in between. Caleb Coley, Justin Dennison, CJ Kendall, Camden Poole. Most of these guys aren't ours, so super big there. We haven't had great for recruiting on cornerbacks. But we have some really good depth and now some higher overall players. Free safety, Hakeem Jackson's going to be our starter here, but we're super young at free safety with some really, really good options. And same thing here, a junior redshirt, Brandon Lewis, 83 overall with some guys stacking up behind him. Our kicker, Potato, is 71 overall. And once again, Eckley is an 88 overall, and after this year, he'll be gone, but we did pick up Markel Streeter to back him up once Eckley is gone. So yeah, overall, this team is so much better. The training was huge, and I'm expecting big things this season. The big thing this season is going to be upgrading our coach prestige. That's going to come with winning more games, but we're probably going to have to fire Leo Otis after this year, depending on what happens. As you can see, coach prestige is still a D-. This is going to be interesting. We're going to have to try to get people to transfer because we are way over on our roster size. Well, we got a bunch of people to transfer out. It's pretty easy. I just went through each position group, and for those that I was able to, it's pretty much the lowest overall, or the one I didn't think fit as well. I wanted to favor younger players, obviously, because we want them to be able to grow. If they're about the same overall, I think they have probably more growth for them. Chester. I love these names, dude. I see so many on Twitter. Well, we spent all of our hours, and this is a really, really bad class. I'm going after a 5-star or 2, and I have a ton of 4-stars. I didn't get any gem 4-stars in those that came up, so that kind of sucks. Obviously, it's not a big deal. Who knows how many we get? There's not many that are even interested in us. We go over to 4-stars. There's literally like 3 maybe, I think, that are interested. Now, obviously, we definitely have a chance. We've done it before. We'll continue to do it for positions that we need or players that we really think we should build up. We'll end up trying to get them maybe later down the line and not waste too much early. If they haven't gotten offers, we can try to steal them from other teams or whatever. I might try to go after this guy or something. But yeah, no gems there. I got a couple 3-star gems. But yeah, kind of a really, really early bad class. Couple 3-star gems, like I said. Position-wise, there's nothing major that we really, really need. Anyways, because we're not getting any of the high-star things, this is just going to be for the future. So maybe trying to plan out and see, like, okay, if we're getting sophomores right now, maybe in a couple years, that's when these guys are going to be good. So this class is just more, I guess, about building depth. I'm not seeing anything crazy, so we're going to have to see what happens. We have to take a look at the schedule for the year. We're starting out with a crazy game, our first game of the season. We have a Week 0 game at Notre Dame. This one is sick. We're then going to be home versus Toledo and Eastern Michigan. Hopefully we can win both of those. We take 2 weeks off, and we still have 3 more home games, 5 in a row. At home versus Washington, Northwestern, and Oregon. Then we go to UCLA for a game versus Nebraska, Illinois, and then we finish the season on the road against Michigan, Wisconsin, who's ranked number 2 right now, and Rutgers. So as of right now, we're only playing 3 ranked opponents, and 2 of them are 24 and 25. With the upgraded roster this season, I'm hoping to at least be 500. The first game of the season at Notre Dame. Let's see what our team can do. Some defensive football so far in the first quarter. We get the first points, 3-3, 10-3, 17-3. Good start. Looks like Notre Dame is going to score. We're going to score again. Notre Dame scores. Notre Dame gets the ball back, and we are going to win. I got to hold my breath. They tie it up overtime. Who won? Yes, sir! I spoke too soon, but a ranked win over Notre Dame for the first game of this season. Let's go! B.J. Hepburn, 5 touchdowns, 334 passing yards. Oh, baby. Jamerson Simons is now our leading running back, as mentioned. 14 for 109 in his first game. Receiving, we had a very varied attack, it looks like. 91 for Marsh, 83 for Isaiah Johnson. I'm going to be completely honest. I totally messed up. I didn't know there was a purchase price for some of these. So now we have Motivator. Yeah, I totally messed that up. I didn't know you could unlock more of these. Well, this changes a lot of things. My apologies for those that probably were cringing at this the entire time. We're definitely using Tactician to boost up a bunch of our players. Look at that. Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week with the interception for Brady Presloff and 5 tackles as well. Fun fact, he actually came into my live stream one day, so that was cool. We're battling for some different teams for a bunch of different players. We're targeting some 4-stars, but we don't have a ton. We already got locked out of a bunch of them, so definitely not going to be as good of a class this time, but we're going to fight. We are in the race for 1 5-star player, Melvin Uzama, a strong safety. We're second place at Wisconsin right now. We're going to have to do some different things to try to get him to come, but we're going to be working on it. I really want to see if I can get a 5-star. Yeah, see, then I don't understand things like this. How do we lose to Toledo for the second game? An okay game for B.J. Hepburn. Simons had a mid-game. He fumbled once, which wasn't good. Nick Marsh had an insane game, though. We're at about the exact same spot as we were last week. Good leads on some of the 3-stars, leads on a couple 4-stars, and a little bit behind on the 5-star. We just scheduled a visit for him, and I put in a few hours on more scouting on some other players. First game at Spartan Stadium this year. I'm just going to sim this game against Eastern Michigan. Defensive game to start out. Eastern scores first. We're going to go down and get a field goal, get the ball back, and score before the half. And so does Eastern. It is back and forth, not much scoring. We are in the lead right now. Eastern scores. We're going to score and take the lead. Eastern up by a point. We're going to go down and get a field goal. Eastern wins. Oh, my God. Are we going to suck again? Interesting. We had 2 different quarterbacks play. Hepburn and Lasko both played. I'm not sure why. I'm sure one of them might have gotten hurt, which is not good. It might have been Hepburn. Simons with a pretty bad game here. And Nick Marsh, yet again, with a nasty game. 2 touchdowns, 123 yards. But we lost again. What is going on? We are in the lead for a couple 4-stars and in a battle with a couple as well. We're going to get a couple 3-star commits pretty easily. Some of the 3-star gems very early. I need to try to focus on getting as many of those as we can because we're winding down on some 4-stars. We're probably going to lose the battle here for Uzama, but we're going to get a little bit of a boost maybe with the visit. We're going to have to see. And I put some hours into a couple other 4-stars where we're currently leading for Oscar Rico, which is nice, but no one else has offered him, so we're going to have to see what happens for him. Very limited hours early is tough, especially when chasing some of the high-star players. We put up in a couple other offers, did a little bit more scouting, but like I said, definitely going to be a little bit of a tougher class this time. Our first commit of this season is going to be Bradley Brady, a right tackle from Grand Rapids, Michigan, a 3-star gem. It's really, really close, but it looks like we're going to be missing out on the 5-star Uzama. I shouldn't even keep anything in here. I'm not going to win this battle, unfortunately. We need the hours desperately right now. Isaiah Joseph, a 4-star right outside linebacker, is our first 4-star commit of the year. We also get Montrell Pinckney, a free safety from Ypsilanti. Since we cut a few quarterbacks, I know we have some good ones right now, but for the future, Duke Davis could be one to go after. He's a 4-star gem quarterback with no offers yet, so I think we should be able to take the lead with him. We're actually in the lead for a couple other 4-stars that we put in some offers for, along with some hours with Trent Crosby, who's a gem D-tackle, as well as a middle linebacker in Damon Hanna. We've got another gem middle linebacker here. We're in the lead for Oscar Rico, and we're also about to get a couple commits with 4-stars and 3-stars. So actually not doing too bad right now. Eldon Diaby from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, a right end. 3-star Jamarcus Dillard from Millington, Michigan, and a center. Those are the 2 commits of the week, and it looks like we're going to miss out on Laird McClellan. No way. Michigan must have jumped. I thought we had him in the bag. Yep, you knew it. We lost again. This is turning into another nightmare season. Not an amazing game from BJ Hepburn here. Jamerson Simons had a pretty good game. Antonio Gates leads the troops in receiving, but just another bad game. We're not playing good football, and it's frustrating. But we've also got an extremely tough schedule coming up. We're going to have Oregon, Nebraska, Michigan, and Wisconsin all ranked. Well, our team sucks. We lost to Northwestern again. I don't know what to do at this point, honestly. And this season is starting to become, yet again, another disaster. I wanted a 500 season. It's going to be nearly impossible now with ranked opponents on the schedule. I'm absolutely not loving this. Nighttime, Stripe the Stadium game against Oregon. What can we do? Ranked opponent 7-7 early. Not much offense here. A lot of stops. Oregon's going to score before halftime. We're going to get a field goal here. This is just back and forth. Another field goal. Super tight defensive game. We have the ball. Oregon has the ball. We're going to go down, kick a field goal. Oregon gets a field goal back, and we lose again. What a tight game. Yep, after this week, we are going to be putting in our new quarterback. There's a 4-star free safety, Sean Westfall. I like that a lot. We are making the change for this game. We'll see what happens. We're going to change and start Dennis Lasco, the freshman. I'm not sure if the quarterback change helped, but the defense put up probably the lowest points we've had in this entire thing. 17-7 win against a very good UCLA team. Lasco threw a couple interceptions and honestly wasn't great, but this was a defensive game. Simons had a pretty decent game. Nobody else rushed the ball. Antonio Gates Jr. with a super big game. Nebraska is 7-0, and it'll be a tough challenge here in Spartan Stadium today. Early start where our offense can't get much going, and Nebraska, very defensive game here. Our offense hasn't been able to do much. Looks like it goes back and forth, whatever, but we are going to fall to Nebraska and go to 2-6. And Lasco hasn't been very good either. A lot of interceptions for the kid. I think I'm going to keep Lasco in this year to try to build him up a little bit. 4-star Trent Crosby, defensive tackle. It's a big 4-star. We got a 3-star middle linebacker, Kevin Warner. For our 4 remaining games, only one of them is against a ranked opponent. I'd like to try to win 2 more and at least improve on the season by 1 game. I thought the team would be better this year. Obviously, it hasn't been. It's been a major disappointment. And we got to hope that with the coach firing off that I don't get fired after this year and I get a contract back. 4-star George Mendez, right guard, has committed, as well as wide receiver Prince Ivy. You guessed it, we lost to Illinois. Looks like an insanely high-scoring game. Another overtime game. Jeez, dude, we can't win a game. Lasco, 5 touchdowns, 472 yards. Actually played really, really good. Our defense sold on us this game. We did not run the ball at all. And Jamerson Simons has not been able... Is our offensive line sucking? What is going on? Receiving, Marsh and Antonio Gates Jr. lead the troops. Jesus, man, what is going on? We've already got 4 stars committed, 10 total players, and we're actually in the lead for a lot more. We're doing really, really good. We're about to get a cornerback, Rico, a middle linebacker, Hannah, and this quarterback, Duke Davis, potentially this right guard, Chin, and we're in the lead for AJ Lemon, and an early lead for Leo Sabri and Dakota Dell. We're working on Alfonso Exum here, who'd be a gem, so we're going to potentially get a lot of 4 stars here. We're doing a lot better than I thought we would. I'm not sure how many players we're going to go for in this class. I've done some more scouting. I'm working on getting some more 3-star gems now. There's not many 4-star players that I want that are left, so I think I'm just going to go after what I have here. If you watched the last episode, you know that the Michigan State game last year was an absolute shootout. We are leading in the first quarter of this game this year, but that lead is closing in quick. Michigan, we're going to take the lead. Michigan takes the lead before halftime. Close game yet again. Michigan adding on more points. We're going to score and score again. Michigan comes down. It's a close game. And we're going to lose by 2 points again. Jesus, dude, this team cannot win a game. Lasco with a pretty decent game, only 1 interception, 305 yards. Jamerson Simons still not being super efficient here. He has not had a very good year. Receiving, Nick Marsh leads the troops 3 for 107 and a touchdown and kind of spread out once again. 4-star cornerback Oscar Rio, 4-star quarterback Duke Davis are our 2 commits this week. We're going to get Hannah here. It's going to be really, really close on Chin. I've got him maxed out. We can't do a visit or anything, so just going to hope we get him after this week. Lead for Lemon. Lead for Bobby Pounds. Still working on Alfonso Axum. Probably a lost cause, unfortunately. So I'm going to give it maybe 1 more week and see where we're at. Massive lead for Leo Sabri, which is going to be really, really nice. Big lead for Doug Bortles. Big lead for Dakota Dell, and we're working on some of these other guys. I added a couple hours, got some more gems, and I'm scouting a few more. We're kind of filling up the board already. I think we're doing a really good job. Notori Chin, I think that was the one we were worried about, so that's a big one. Hey, we won this game only by a field goal, which is absolutely crazy. Lasco, what an unbelievable game. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 26 for 36, 418 yards. Hopefully this guy can end up being the QB of the future. As a freshman, he's playing his just lights out. Simons, once again, has not been super good, but it is his sophomore year, so I'm hoping he can be a lot better next year. Receiving, what in the world? Antonio Gates Jr. in his second to last game ever puts up 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. As of right now, I'm really only going after 3 stars with gems. I have enough time to scout more of them. I don't need to fill up the complete recruiting board right now, I feel like, so I'm doing pretty good. The final game of the season, can we improve our record from the previous years? It's not looking good to start. We're going to score at the end of the first here. Rutgers scores again. We're going to come back with a touchdown. Go down the field. Come on. 17-21, 28-17. Rutgers is going to score a few times. We're going to score again, and Rutgers is going to win. We're going to be 3-9 again, guys. Lasco had a really good game yet again, 380 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Our defense just has not been holding up. And Jamerson Simons sucks, dude. 16 attempts for 11 yards. What is this dude doing? Either that or our offensive line sucks. Receiving, Antonio Gates Jr. goes out with 2 amazing games back-to-back. Isaiah Johnson had a really, really good game, too. We got him back for a year. Nick Marsh, another great year. We got to be careful. He might go to the league this year. We're going to have to see what happens. There is 4-star middle linebacker Damon Hannah. 3-star cornerback Bobby Pounds. As we're into the offseason here, we've got a good lead on a lot of the people we're looking for. Leo Sabry's going to commit. We'll get Dakota Dell. We'll get Doug Bortles. We'll get David Queen. We're going to start to be in a race with Anthony Townsend, which we'll work on. We got a good lead on Tony Queen, a strong safety. We're working on another quarterback, Shaq Scruggs. What an absolute great name there. Ethan McQuiston. We are working on Duke Hurt. We're working on, and I'm working on scouting a few more guys. I'm out of hours, and I think that might be it for hours since it's starting to be the off season here. So we're going to have to see where we're at. I kind of want Jimmy Good too. Well, we got a 1-year contract. I don't know. I'm sure it just continues to carry over. So we're not worried about that at least. I was worried. Boom, back for another year. Well, finished up, got a couple 50s in here. I think this will be the final week then. We're doing really, really good, though. I like the class we've got. There is Leo Sabry. That is a huge pickup. I love it. Draylon Miller is a 2026 Heisman, 82 receptions, 1,100 yards. I feel like that's not a ton, and 19 touchdowns. It looks like they re-signed Otis. I don't know if I had any sort of choice in that. And we're back down to an F with Emmett Awesome, which is not awesome. I wanted to do something with them, but it looks like I may not be able to this offseason. Doug Bortles, cornerback. David Queen, fullback, are 2 commits this week. Baylor and Michigan in the national championship. That is interesting. Hey, Baylor beat Michigan. I like it. I did forget to go over this. We obviously had a quarterback switch midway through the year. Dennis Lasco ended up being really, really solid, I think. Higher completion percentage and better ratio. Hepburn threw a lot of picks. Lasco did too, but more touchdowns. Lots of yards. I think that was probably the right move, putting Lasco in at the end of the year. Rushing, Jamerson Simons really did not have a good year as our starting running back. I hope he gets a good boost. He's still a sophomore. We didn't give much of any other rushes. Rab didn't do anything. Lasco and Hepburn, the quarterbacks, they're improvisers, so they're going to get a few yards here and there. Receiving, Antonio Gates Jr. had an incredible senior season. 8 touchdowns for 1,000 yards, and Nick Marsh wasn't too far behind. DeAvery Poe led in tackling, and Pretzloff was right there behind him. Nobody had more than 1 interception, and nobody had a touchdown. Well, it looks like beyond graduation, not many people are transferring. J.V. Waters, a right end. Austin Clay, a receiver. Wyatt Hook, a tight end. And Greg Chavis Morgan, a left end. For graduation, we're losing some very big pieces to graduation. Gavin Brocious, Caleb Coley's leaving. Ryan Eckley, our 90 overall punters, leaving. Antonio Gates, who had a fantastic season for us. CJ Kendall, DeAvery Poe, who is our leading tackler, really our main middle linebacker. Stanton Ramil, who was actually really, really good for us. Jalen Thompson, Griffin Young, and BJ Hepburn is gone. So we got Dakota Dell, 4-star receiver. Shaq Scruggs, quarterback. We only had 1 player drafted, and it was Caleb Coley, an 87 overall. I'm kind of surprised at that. I thought we'd have some more, but I would imagine Nick Marsh is coming back for his senior season. He'll probably get drafted semi-high, I would imagine, after this year. We are heading into transfer portal season. We're in a nice lead for Anthony Townsend here. We're just going to send the house. We've got a lot of hours for recruiting here. Tony Queen is going to be ours here. In a tight race for Ethan McQuiston here. I think we should be able to get him, though. Well, we don't have too many interests in us in the transfer portal. We do have a 4-star in here. We'll try to go for him. I doubt we're going to get him. It's a right outside linebacker. One of our players is back, wanting back on the team. That's interesting. We'll try to get him back. He's a 3-star left end. We'll try to get the right outside linebacker and the defensive tackle. Well, I used up a lot of the hours. We've got everybody almost fully up, like as much as I possibly can. And we're also doing a ton of visits for players. We were able to use a ton of hours here. So we'll see if this helps get a few more prospects, but I don't think I'm going to go after more than any of these guys. Strong safety, Tony Queen is ours, as well as Ethan McQuiston, Duke Hurt, Anthony Townsend is ours, cornerback, as well as Jimmy Good, a middle linebacker, and middle linebacker Denton Sash. Well, we got our player back. That's kind of funny. We got Deion Howden, a defensive tackle. Oh, man, we just missed out on the 4-star. Well, this is going to conclude Season 3, which went just about as well as all of the other years so far. 3-9 for 3 straight years. Although our overall improved, our team did not. Let's go through our recruiting class. We signed 29 players this year. We got a 3-star right tackle, Bradley Brady, a gem, a 4-star right outside linebacker, Isaiah Joseph, 3-star gem, Montrell Pinckney, a free safety, DeMarcus Dillard, a 3-star gem center, 3-star gem right end Eldon Diaby, 4-star Sean Westfall, a free safety, 3-star Kevin Warner, a gem middle linebacker, 4-star gem Trent Crosby, probably one of the best of the class, a defensive tackle, George Mendez, a right guard, Prince Ivy, 3-star gem receiver to add to our receiving corps. Oscar Rico, 4-star cornerback. Was happy to get him and also was excited to get Duke Davis, a 4-star gem quarterback. Natori Chin, right guard, a 4-star. A 4-star middle linebacker, Damon Hanna. 3-star gem cornerback, Bobby Pounds. What a name. Leo Sabry, a 4-star gem running back. Dakota Dell, a 4-star gem receiver. 3-star gem, Doug Bortles. 3-star fullback, David Queen, to replace our fullback. 3-star Shaq Scruggs, quarterback, scrambler to kind of back up. We need an extra quarterback there. Strong safety, 3-star gem, Tony Queen. 3-star gem, right outside linebacker, Ethan McQuiston. Duke Hurt, right guard, 3-star gem. 3-star cornerback, Anthony Townsell. 3-star middle linebacker, Jimmy Good. 3-star middle linebacker, Denton Sash. Greg Chavis Morgan, a left end, 3-star, who was on our team already. We just barely missed out on this right outside linebacker in the transfer portal, Jahide Lassane Jr. And finally, 3-star Dion Howden, defensive tackle. A pretty damn good class, I'd say here. No 5-stars, but 10 4-stars and 18 3-stars. We didn't have to go for any 2-stars this year. I didn't try to force those. We got the 18th best class. So if we're going to keep getting top 25 classes 3 years in a row, you'd like to think we're going to get in the top 25. So hopefully we can do that in the next episode in Season 4. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I promise we'll win more than 3 games. It might be 4, but make sure to tune in to see if we're able to do that. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next season of the Michigan State Spartans rebuild. Go green.